alumni of the institution. The two-in-one ceremony featured the presentation of a topic titled Edu Tourism, Understanding the Prospects and Challenges, delivered by Mrs. Adenike Motosho of the Linz Beckert University, United Kingdom. Addressing the graduates, Chairman Governing Council of the University, Malam Yusuf Ali, SAN, and the university's Vice Chancellor, Professor Odrayo Adeboye, admonished the graduates to believe in themselves, that they could make it in Nigeria rather than becoming second-class citizens in other countries of the world. The duo stressed the need to shun all forms of slavery occasioned by massive movements of the youth outside the shores of the country. The event witnessed the award of scholarship grants to 14 indigent but brilliant students of the university, led by the chairman of the alumni, Mr. Oriola Kabir, and supported by the Chairman Governing Council and the Vice Chancellor. Present at the occasion include the Director General OSBC, Mr. Rashid Folaranmi, represented by Director Admin and Supplies OSBC, Prince Ibiwale Alao, among others. The Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Lagos State, Muyosore Onigbanjo, has said that the Lagos State Transport Sector Reform Law 2018 is undergoing a review by the Lagos State House of Assembly for amendment. Onigbanjo said this today while appearing on a television program monitored by newsmen in Lagos. He said the Lagos State Transport Sector Reform Law is currently being reviewed by the State House of Assembly, and amendments will be in place as soon as possible. Emotions ran high last Thursday as abandoned and fortified and forfeited vehicles were auctioned by the Lagos State government at the tax force yard Ikeja. Some of those who attended the public sale included drivers whose vehicles were seized for disobeying traffic laws. The event was filled with different dramas from bidders and businessmen who came solely for business purposes. The Lagos State Transport Sector Reform Law 2018 noted that anyone who drives in a direction prohibited by the law or neglects traffic direction will have to forfeit the vehicle. The Federal Road Safety Corps has warned politicians against the use of party insignia and pictures instead of government-approved vehicle number plates. In a statement made available to journalists today in Port Harcourt, Rivers Sector Commander Salisu Galadunche described the authorized use as a security risk. Described the unauthorized use as a security risk. Mr. Galadunche, in the statement by Deputy Route Commander Juliana Eni, said the abuse of number plates was capable of truncating the operations of the FRSA. The FRSA boss urged security agencies and other stakeholders in the state to clamp down on the trend while appealing to leaders of political parties and organizers of party rallies to join in promoting traffic safety in the state. This is the news across the country, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Leawiye Okebale Oshobo, Voice of the West. Now a mid-news message. Honesty is the best policy. Train your child to be honest. The 2022 edition of the Ogun Festival, held in Ondo State, southwestern region of the country, caught the attention of our entertainment news today. Bimisola Abeni is ready with a report on Ogun Festival.
Ogun Festival is no doubt the joy of Ondo citizens. It is an annual festival observed by the Yoruba people of Ondo, southwestern region of Nigeria, in a way of promoting their cultural and in honor of Ogun, a warrior and powerful spirit of metalworks believed by the Yorubas to be the first god to arrive on earth. Ogun is celebrated in late August or early September with sacrifices of snails, turkeys, and dogs. It is a time when music fills the air and marches fill the streets, as people gather to pay respect to their ancestors, just as thousands of people comes out annually to celebrate. It serves as an occasion whereby the memory of deceased ancestors and cultural heroes are commemorated. The preparation commences 17 days before the actual Ogun Day at the appearance of the new moon, whereby a male dog pays a heavy price each year. White taxi driver offer a sacrifice to the iron god Ogun, alongside other sacrificial offerings including the spice of catfish, alligator pepper, kola nut, palm wine and red palm oil, small rats, roosters, salt, snails, tortoises, water and yams are part of Nigerians' traditional religious beliefs in the hopes of an auspicious year ahead. Ogun is believed to be the god of all those using iron in their professional work. Therefore, the deity must be worshipped in order to receive his favor. During the festival, people worship their ancestors and with the belief that they are on earth again to greet, inspect and bless their siblings. The Olotu of Ondo Town, Chief J.G. Akintoye, in an interview with an entertainment news reporter says, Ogun is being worshipped in different ways whereby drivers make use of their vehicle because it is made of iron.
We can say god of iron because that is what we use to replace it. We worship Ogun in different ways. The drivers, they have irons, their vehicle and all this. When we pray on this thing, we believe that once the prayer is answered, you will be free from accident, from any bad occurrence.
In his own submission, Itagboye of Ondo Kingdom, Chief Wale Benson refers to the festival as a Blue Carnival, even though it is an imported festival to Ondo Town because it is said to have originated from Ire Ekiti.
This celebration we call it is one of its kind in Africa. Even though Ogun Festival is an imported festival to Ondo Town, because Ogun, they say, is originated from Ire. We are not related to Ire in any way. But being a southwestern town, an ancient town that has been in existence since 1510, whatever happens in other part of Yoruba land will automatically happen in Ondo Kingdom. So one of those things.
It is only during this festival that children, domestic servants, foreigners, artisans, traditional circumcision doctors, religions, and political authorities perform as devotees of Ogun. As the divinity is tied to professionalism, everybody participates. For instance, warriors, blacksmiths, traders, and even women who hardly participate in other Ondo festival plays very significant role in the festivities. Gbemisola Abeni for OSBC Entertainment News.
Kano State Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje has increased the monthly allowances of each of the 5 Emirates councils in the state by 100%. The State Commissioner of Information, Muhammad Garba, said an upward review was made in view of the increasing challenges of population growth, insecurity, and infrastructure in the Emirate councils. Garba will reveal that the increment was part of the several approvals made at the weekly State Executive Council meetings. Said Kano Emirates Council will now receive a monthly allowance of 100 million naira, while the other 4 Emirates, Bichi, Rano, Karaye, and Gaya, will receive 40 million naira each. With this approval, reports hazard that it will now cost Kano State Government 3.1 billion naira yearly to run the 5 Emirates, as against the about 1.5 billion naira per annum it yearly costs. Operatives of the Abia State Police Command have arrested 10 suspects, including a dismissed operative of the Department of State Services, DSS, Prosper Israel, over the recent robbery of a bullion van in the state. Commissioner of Police Janet Agebe disclosed this when she paraded the suspects at the police headquarters in Umuahia. According to the Abia Police Boss, the suspects were part of a 14-man robbery gang that ambushed a bullion van near Ntiga Junction, Enugu Port Harcourt Expressway on July 26, 2022. CP Janet said a cash officer of a new generation bank was killed in the incident, while the suspects carted an unspecified amount of cash being conveyed by the bullion van. According to her, the arrest was the reward for months of painstaking efforts and investigation by police operatives. The CP added that the suspects during interrogation confessed that they placed the bullion van on surveillance for 2 months. The suspects, the CP noted, would be arraigned in court after further investigations. A 20-year-old suspect, Kolade Tosin, has explained how he raped and killed one Ifeoluwa Apankpa inside a church at Olodo area in Ibadan, capital of Oyo State. Olodo area in Ibadan. He said after he forcefully raped his victim, he strangulated her to death for giving him a wrong password for a phone. Speaking with journalists today at the Oyo Police Command Headquarters, Eleyele Ibadan, Tosin said he committed the crime inside a church. An Ikeja Special Offences Court has sentenced a 31-year-old Lagos teacher to 7 years imprisonment for sexually assaulting a 16-year-old student. Reports has it that the teacher, who was sentenced on Monday, was earlier charged with defilement. The teacher, identified as Idowu Daniel, fondled the student's breast within the school premises. Oluwatoyin Taiwo, the presiding judge, held that the prosecution failed to establish the charge of defilement against the defendant, as the survivor failed to show up in court to testify. The convict, during the court sitting, pleaded for mercy when he was asked if he had anything to say. The judge also lashed out at the convict for touching the survivor in a suggestive way. She added that he would have gotten life imprisonment if the minor had testified in court. 6 governors from the northeastern zone of the country, under the aegis of the Northeast Governors Forum, has pleaded to the federal government for urgent intervention in the areas affected by flooding. The NEGF bemoaned the ravaging effect of flooding in some parts of the zone, which wreaked havoc on homes and property. This was contained in a communique issued at the end of the forum's 7th conference by its chairman, the Borno State Governor, Babagana Zulum. It emphasized its commitment to strengthening the level playing ground for a united purpose that will be at an advantage of the zone. About 400 houses have been submerged by flood in some parts of Pilgani district of Langtang, North Local Government Council of Plateau State, after several days of torrential rain. Reports has it that the areas mainly affected include Zamadede, Shilo, Pishke, Agwangwani, Galang, and several other communities. Nantip Malam, a resident of Zamadede village, lamented that everything they had in the house has been destroyed. He further added that over 200 persons have been displaced following the unfortunate incident. Chairman of Lagantan North Council, Barrister Rimven Zulfa, noted that his people have received reports of the flooding in the communities and would look into it to ensure that the necessary agencies are contacted so that succor would be provided for the people. Islamic cleric Sheikh Muhyiddin Salahuddin Ajibike has charged adherents of Islam to always remember that death is a supreme price that every soul will pay. He gave the charge today while speaking as a guest lecturer at a special prayer organized in honor of an Islamic scholar and chief imam of Ilobu land, late Sheikh Jamiu Bello. Here are details of the special prayer by Oluwatobiloba Odunuga.
The special prayer organized in honor of late Chief Imam of Ilobuland, Sheikh Jamiu Bello, attracted dignitaries from far and near, including Islamic scholars, Muslim faithful, family, and friends from across the state and beyond. In his lecture, the guest lecturer, Sheikh Muhyiddin Salahuddin Ajibike, who appreciated Allah in the life of the deceased and joined individuals to learn from the exemplary life led by the late Chief Imam, Sheikh Salahuddin Ajibike noted that individuals have a day written down that Almighty Allah will call them to come and give an account of how they spend their time on earth. The guest lecturer who noted that the world is a marketplace and joined all to check their lifestyle so as to change from bad to good in order to get closer to Almighty Allah. Speaking on the life of the deceased, the relative of late Sheikh Bello, including Alhaji Abubakar Bello, Dr. Hood Shitu, and the Waziri of Yorubaland, who doubled as the Mufasa of Edeland, Sheikh Adekileku, noted that the late Chief Imam of Ilobuland in his lifetime was a lover of Almighty Allah, who will not at any point separate his children from his foster children. They noted that the numerous achievements of late Sheikh Bello cannot be overemphasized in the life of many, the community, Ilobuland, and in Nigeria, adding that he dedicated his life to the service of Allah and humanity.
I cannot measure his value to me. He was one of the exemplaries of the family. When we are speaking of education, when we are speaking of morality, when we are talking of culture, and when we are talking of humility, he has all what it takes.
You had a lot of information which he had brought to Ilobu during his stay, like cemetery, the use of Muslims, development of Imam, etc.
The special prayer program in honor of late Sheikh Jamiu Bello, the Chief Imam of Ilobuland, featured Quranic recitation, special prayers for the immediate and extended families, including the town, among others. Late Sheikh Jamiu Bello graduated from Islam theology at the University of Baghdad in Iraq. In 1986, he taught in various schools in Ondo State and was the principal of Mokaz Islamic Center, Ikare Akoko, before he established his own Islamic school in 1986. Late Sheikh Jamiu Bello, who was turbaned as Chief Imam of Ilobuland in 2006, passed to the great beyond at the age of 78 on the 17th of this month. Oluwa Tobiloba Odunuga reporting for OSBC News.
Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa won't be part of the trip to Oran, Algeria, due to injury as the team prepares to face Desert Foxes of Algeria on Tuesday. Adeyemi Aboderi has more on sports updates.
Asisat Oshoala has been recalled to the Super Falcons squad for next month's friendly against Japan, but there's no place for captain Onomi Ebi. The match will be played on October 6, which will serve as warm-up for both teams ahead of next year's FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. Oshoala missed Super Falcons' recent matches against world champions USA due to injury. Coach Randy Wardrum has also called up defenders Toyin Demeyin and Roliat Imuna, as well as midfielders Deborah Abiodun, who all featured at the recent Under-20 World Cup in Costa Rica. Meanwhile, Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa is set to become the second Turkish-based winger to withdraw from Nigeria's squad to face Algeria next week after Henry Onyekuru, according to a medical report by his club Servisport. Musa has a fractured left arm, effectively ruling him out of the trip to Oran. He was substituted in the 19th minute of Sivasspor's 2-1 loss to Ankaragusu in a Turkish Super League clash at the weekend. The forward has played 4 matches in all competitions for Sivasspor since joining early this month, but yet to open his goal-scoring account. In the meantime, 20 players have arrived at Marriott Hotel in Algeria as Super Eagles camp opened yesterday ahead of the international friendly against Desert Foxes. Chidozie Awazem was the first aboard to arrive before other players joined him as training commenced today. Among those in camp are Maduka Okoye, William Cruz Ekong, Kenneth Omeru, Olaina, Wilfred Ndidi, Alex Iwobi, Taiwo Awoniyi, among others. The Super Eagles will keep a date with the Desert Forces of Algeria at the Miloud Adrefi Stadium, Oran, on Tuesday, next week in an international friendly. The management of Warri Wolves Football Club of Asaba, led by Moses Etu, has been dismissed. A statement by the chairman of Delta State Sport Commission, Tunubok Okowa, said Mr. Neville Anbekeremaumu has been appointed as the new chairman of the club. He is to take over with immediate effect. The Nigerian Basketball Federation has set up a reconciliation and statute amendment committee. In a statement on Monday, MBBF President Engineer Musa Kida informed of the new development as the body and sport ministry seek a new direction for Nigeria basketball and bring peace to the country's basketball family. Champions of the 2022 National Secondary School Championship, Bayesa's duo of Bishop the Mary Grammar School and St. Jude's Girls Secondary School, Amarata, will represent the country for the first time at the 2022 World School Basketball Championship taking place in Belgrade, Serbia. Nigeria, alongside 19 other nations and host Serbia School Sport Federation, are participating in the competition, which had started today. Sport update returns tomorrow. My name is Adeyemi Aboderi.
And to end the news across the country, here are the major points. The All Progressives Congress, APC, in Osun State has debunked the rumor making the round about a list of candidates for the forthcoming local government election circulating on the social media, purportedly referred to as the list of the party. President Muhammadu Buhari has written separate letters to the Senate seeking for their approval for the issuance of promissory notes totaling over 402 billion naira. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has said the Parliament is committed to doing everything possible to end the lingering crisis between the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities. An Ikeja Special Offences Court has sentenced a 31-year-old Lagos teacher to 7 years imprisonment for sexually assaulting a 16-year-old student. That was the news across the country, edited by Temitope Olayiwola. For more about us, visit www.osbcng.org. Thanks for listening. Good evening.
You are live. You are live.